How bad is Messi's injury, and will Inter Miami make the playoffs? Welcome back, match day 34. It's moving along. We have teams clinching the playoffs, teams potentially clinching the playoffs here on the weekend, but let's jump into it. First up, we have Atlanta United versus CF Montreal. Currently, Atlanta United are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last five, where Montreal are 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last five matches. This is 6 against 8 in the East. They are at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The last time that these two teams played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, it was a 3-3 draw, but that was back in 2022. When these two teams played back in July, it was in Montreal. Geez, in Montreal, and Atlanta won that match 1-0. I think with it being at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, a lot are on the line. Atlanta could make the playoffs if they win, and a couple other things happen throughout the league. And I think that Atlanta do that. I think Atlanta win this match 2-1 over Montreal. So that leads us to DC United versus New York Red Bull. Currently, DC are 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss in their last five matches, where the Red Bulls, unfortunately, are 2 draws and 3 losses in their last five matches. This is pretty much a playoff game for DC United to keep their spot for the playoffs, but for the Red Bulls, there is still a chance that they could make the playoffs if they start winning games these last handful of matches for the end of the regular season. But they are at Audi Field. I thought that DC United played a great second half against Atlanta over the midweek. I think it'll take a lot for the Red Bulls to win. If DC can come out like they did in the second half and play the whole game like they did against Atlanta, I think that they win this. And I think that they beat the Red Bulls 1-0 there at Audi Field. So moving on, we have FC Cincinnati versus Charlotte FC. We know that Cincinnati have clinched the playoffs. Charlotte are in 12th in the East. They can make the playoffs, but they need to win games. They were up against Philadelphia in the midweek and then ended up drawing. They really needed those 3 points. They are at TQL Stadium. Currently, Cincinnati are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last five matches, where Charlotte are 1 win and 4 draws in their last five matches. This one's hard for me to pick because I don't know how serious Cincinnati is going to be, where Charlotte are going to come out. They're looking pretty good. They just keep drawing, though. Like, they have picked it up since the Leagues Cup, but I can't say that they get the job done here in Cincinnati. I think that Cincinnati wins this match 3-2 over Charlotte. So going from Ohio to New York, we have NYCFC versus Toronto FC. Currently, NYCFC are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last five matches, where Toronto FC are 1 win and 4 losses in their last five matches. This is a big game for NYCFC. They are 10th right now, currently. This is a must-win game for them, I feel like. I know that there's still multiple games left. They need these 3 points, and I think that they get it done at home, and they beat Toronto 2-1. So next up is a huge matchup from both sides. We have Philadelphia Union versus LAFC. Currently, the Union are 4th in the East, where LAFC are 3rd in the West. Philadelphia are 2 wins and two draws and a loss in their last five matches, where LAFC are 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses in their last five matches. The Union have never won this matchup. They have not won this matchup. It's 4 draws and 3 wins to LAFC. They've only played the draw is the only match that has been played at Subaru Park. Philadelphia have to win and stay winning to be able to get a home match there in the playoffs because it's the first 4 spots. I think that they get it done at home. I think that with LA having to fly all the way over to the East Coast, I think that, like I said, I think that Philadelphia will get it done at home at Subaru Park 3-2 over LAFC. So next up, we have Chicago Fire versus New England Revs. Currently, Chicago are 1 draw and 4 losses in their last five matches, where the Revs are 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last five matches. Chicago, they still have a chance. They could make the playoffs. They are sitting 11th right now in the East, so this would be one of those games that they really need, but they're missing Shaqiri. He got a red card over the midweek. Not a good look. The Revs have been inconsistent, so this also could be a chance for Chicago. Revs have kind of fallen off since the beginning of the season, but I don't think that Chicago can do it. I think that the Revs are the better side. The Revs need to push to get to a home field match in the playoffs to get into that fourth spot. I think that the Revs go on the road here and win this match 2-1 over Chicago Fire. So that takes us to FC Dallas versus Columbus Crew. Currently, Dallas are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5 matches, where Columbus Crew are 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5 matches. Dallas are currently 9th in the West, so they need this. To me, again, it's one of those ones they need to win. They need to get a result, whereas Columbus are currently 3rd in the East. So they're not going to care as much, I don't feel like. And I think that this could be one of those games that we see Columbus kind of not perform very well. I could be just making that up in my head. I think, though, that because of Dallas and them might not making the playoffs, that they win this match. I think that they're at home. They win 3-2 over Columbus Crew. Next up, we have Minnesota United versus St. Louis City. Currently, Minnesota are 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses in their last 5 matches, where St. Louis City are 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss in their last 5 matches. Don't know what's going on with St. Louis. I hope that they turn it around because they're currently sitting in first in the West, but I don't think that they turn it around here. Again, Minnesota need a win or a point. They need those points to make the playoffs because right now they're sitting at 10th in the West. And I think that they get the job done at home. I really hate to say that against, St. Louis. St. Louis is a great side. And maybe I'm wrong because St. Louis wants to get revenge on Minnesota because Minnesota beat St. Louis at home earlier in the season. But I think Minnesota wins this match 1-0 over St. Louis City. Staying there in the West, we have Sporting Kansas City versus Houston Dynamo. Currently, Sporting Kansas City are 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5 matches, where Houston Dynamo are 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5 matches. Sporting Kansas City have turned it around lately, and they have been playing very well. But then you have Houston that is on another level this season. They are looking great, in my opinion, even though they are in 4th there in the West. Sporting Kansas City need to make the playoffs, but I don't think they can beat Houston. But I don't think Houston's going to beat Sporting. I think that this match ends in a 1-1 draw there in Kansas City. That leads us into Real Salt Lake versus Vancouver Whitecaps. Currently, Real Salt Lake has not looked well. 1 win, 4 losses in their last 5 matches. And the Vancouver Whitecaps are picking it up. They are 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5 matches. 5 against 6. This is probably the biggest matchup of the week for the West Conference there. And I think that there's not going to be much that separates this team. I think Vancouver is a really good side. I think Real Salt Lake are a really good side. Also just very inconsistent right now. But I think we've talked about that multiple times. This league is so inconsistent. But I think that this game ends in a draw. I think both teams are just trying to fight to maybe get into that 4th spot. And enough's not going to separate them. And I think it ends in a 2-2 draw there in Salt Lake. So for the second to last match on Saturday, we have Portland Timbers versus Colorado Rapid. Currently, the Timbers are on fire. 4 wins and a draw in the last 5 matches, where Colorado, not so much. 1 win, 4 losses in their last 5 matches. The last time that these two teams played, it was back in July. It was a 0-0 draw there in Colorado. I don't think that's happening here. Portland are in the playoffs currently in the 8th spot. And I think that they're going to continue this winning streak. They're currently on a 3-match winning streak with a 5-match unbeaten streak. I think they continue that, and I think they win 3-1 over Colorado Rapids. So next up, we have San Jose Earthquakes versus Nashville SC. Currently, San Jose are 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5 matches, where Nashville are a win, 2 draws, and 2 losses in their last 5 matches. These two teams have played each other twice, and both times have been a draw. It's 7 in the East against 7 in the West, so it really means something to both of these teams to get a result here. And I think that both teams continue this drawing streak against each other, and I think it ends in a 2-2 draw there in San Jose. So our first match of Sunday is Orlando City versus Inter Miami. This is the game that we will be live streaming for the watch along, so please come hang out on Sunday for this. But currently Orlando City are 3 wins, a draw and a loss in their last 5 matches, where Inter Miami are 3 wins, a draw and a loss in their last 5 matches. There's going to be no Messi, no Alba. It has already been confirmed by Tata. I want to say that Orlando is going to win this. They have to. I think that they will, just to push, to keep their spot in the East there for the playoffs, to have a home game. And at the same time, I feel like teams are going to try to take Inter Miami even more serious, because I think if Miami makes it to the playoffs, they're going to win the MLS Cup, especially if Messi, Busquets, and Alba are all healthy. But I think that Inter Miami is a tough side, even without Messi and Alba right now. With all the players that they have brought in, they looked good against Toronto in the midweek when Messi comes out in the 35th or 36th minute. So it's going to be tough, but I think with it being at Explorer Stadium and how good Orlando are, I think Orlando wins this match 2-1 over Inter Miami. And for our final match for the match day, we have Austin FC versus LA Galaxy. Currently, Austin are 2 draws and 3 losses in their last 5 matches, where the Galaxy are 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in their last 5 matches. The last time that these two teams played, it was back in April, and they played in LA, and LA won that match 2-0. This is 12 against 13 there in the West, but there's a chance that both of these teams could make the playoffs. So it's going to be a playoff atmosphere for sure for this match at Q2 Stadium. But I think the LA Galaxy go on the road here and beat Austin. I think they win 2-1 there at Q2 Stadium. So that is it for Matchday 34. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you like the content, and come hang out with us on Sunday for the Orlando City versus Inter Miami live stream.